Y'all, with just a few simple ingredients, you could easily save your hands this winter from being dry and cracked and painful. I know that I deal with this quite a lot during the winter. The cold is just not easy on me, and my hands will actually become so cracked, they will actually start to bleed and become very painful. So it's really just 3 ingredients, and I'm going to teach you how to make it. First, we're taking beef tallow, which you should be able to get from a local farmer. And if you can't, just get some beef fat and render it down yourself. You should also be able to get that from a local farmer or a butcher. So the first thing that I did was melt down the tallow, and I did this like makeshift double broiler thing. So I just put my Instapot rack in a pot, and I just used the jar that the tallow was already in. Now you only need half a cup of tallow, so I was just sort of melting it and then adding more as it melted because I didn't need to melt the entire jar. And then I also started scooping out some of the soft stuff and adding that into the measuring cup. And then I wound up putting the measuring cup in the pot because, as you can see, some of the stuff in there was still hard. It started getting harder on the edges because it was cooling before I could get it all melted. So I just have this measuring cup. It is like heat safe, and I put that in the double broiler after I got my half cup out of it and just melted that down the rest of the way. And while we're waiting for that to melt down the rest of the way, I just want to show you these pictures, these before and after pictures. This person treated with this for less than a week, and this is how their hand looks. You can see that the scabbing is actually going away. So now to your melted tallow, add 2 tablespoons of oil. The oil is completely up to you what you want to use. I decided to use olive oil, but there are tons of different options. I'm going to just list a few of them on screen. Next, you're going to take the essential oil or essential oils of your choice. I decided to use a blend that we really liked, and you're going to add 10 drops. This can be totally whatever you want again, but I'll just list some ideas on screen. Then you're going to add this to a bowl and just let it harden again. So it's not going to get completely hard now that you've added that oil, but you just want to let it get hardened. It only took like 10 minutes. Now I'm using a hand mixer here, but you can also use your stand mixer to just beat it until it is whipped. So the texture is going to change a little bit here. It's going to actually turn a more white color. It's pretty clear once it's done. This took me about probably 2 to 5 minutes of beating to get to the point that I wanted it to get to. So this is normally called whipped tallow lotion. I've heard so many benefits of people telling me about how beef tallow is really, really good for their skin, and it took care of their eczema, their dry hands. And so I'm really excited to try this out and see how it works. So far I've been using it for less than a week, and I can already notice a difference. This is me using it for the first time. You can see that texture there, that's sort of the texture that you're going for when you whip it. So once you get to that texture, then you can stop beating the tallow mixture. Now what I have there on my fingers is way too much, okay? You need way less than what I just used there, okay? So I'm just using it on my hands and arms. You needed like a tiny little dab, okay? I'm serious, tiny. Now I do need to say this did take quite a few minutes for me to rub in to the point that it stopped feeling greasy, but it did eventually stop feeling greasy. Like I just kept rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, and it took like 2 or 3 minutes of rubbing, but it eventually stopped feeling greasy and slimy, and my hands already felt the difference. So I definitely highly recommend trying this recipe out. So far, I have not seen any downsides except for one. Your dog is going to really, 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 really like you after you put this on. You may want to put your dog out. I don't know. He really wanted to lick me for some reason. And so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys try it out. If you do, leave a comment and watch this video next.